Hello guys, I'm Military Ice, and today we're going to discuss the situation in Ukraine. Today is the 9th of February, and our goal is to try to find out what's the Russian plan on this imminent attack, because of course everybody is talking about this attack, and there are some evidence, a lot of evidence on the front side, on the front and on the battlefield that the Russians are going to make an offense. So let's try to understand the plan of this offense, and first of all we need to set up the goals. And a lot of things change since my last videos, because I already made a lot of videos about this offensive weeks ago and months ago, but some things change, and I want to be as much practical as I can. So we'll try to use some maps to understand where are the troops located, and what are the goals, and how the goals will be achieved by the troops on the field. Okay, so let's go here, and this is the first map I wanted to discuss with you. As we see here, just by looking at the visual map, we see that Russians, not only if you do not consider the category of these troops, for example, this is a battalion, this is a division, this is a no, this is a brigade, this is a battalion, this is a division. But just only looking at the if we look visually at the troops, we see that the Russians outnumber the Ukrainians in this front line. This is the north front line, in the LPR, in Svatovo Kremenaya here, and there is the first front, the first line of attack. There is a second line of reserves that is coming closer to the first line, and this line was far away from the first line. They were located around here, and there is also a third line of reserves that are around here, and they are preparing to also sustain this attack. So this is a very, very big red flag about this imminent attack. Okay, and Ukrainians, by their side, they are accumulating troops on Poltava. They are sending those troops to Kharkiv, and those troops to Kharkiv, the Ukrainians send those troops from Kharkiv. They transfer some reserves to Kupiansk here, and Liman, all this front line. If you see at the around Donbass, around the Donetsk area, and around Bakhmut, we see that there is also this first front line. Yes, mainly here with the Wagner. Okay, as we see here, and there is also a second part. The second part of reserves that are ready to put in combat on the front, near, of course, Bakhmut, but mostly on the Siversk area, around Siversk area here, Siversk, and some of those troops can sustain also the Bakhmut attack. But I don't think that the Ukrainians will stand longer here. The situation in Bakhmut is almost critical. They do not have so many possibilities. Okay, front line. Let me. Okay. Oh, this is better. Okay. So this is the front line. They took this road. Of course, the Russians. They are advancing here in Ivanivsky, and then the last thing is probably they will try to go here, Ivanivsky, and then go here around Chasiv Yar, okay, and to take directly this road here, and arrive to Krasnilivska, here, this city here, because there are some steps. Maybe probably they will try to do this, something like this, okay, and something like this, and from north side they will try to push till this city here. Okay, so and if they complete this, basically all the Bakhmut will gone. Okay, so the Ukrainians have very few time to escape by this cauldron. So as we see here, There are those a lot of big accumulation in the LPR section, some accumulation in the Donbas area in Donetsk, around Donetsk, mostly around Luhansk, in the south of Luhansk near Siversk, and there are some reserves also around here around um, the south front of Zaporizhia near Uglidar, because those troops are sustaining the Uglidar push here. That is not going so well for the Russian, at least for now, for the moment. And there were also seen a lot of thousands of troops from the Russian side that were moving also to the north side, probably either to support the Zaporizhia front line and also to support the Uglidar attack. So this is the situation. Of course, here, yes, there are also other troops that are located here. Some troops are on the Crimea section, but if we see also, there are a lot of troops involved on the VDV of the VDV, involved in the attack of Bakhmut and Wagner's, and there are also VDV troops, as we see here in the north of LPR, okay, but also here in front of Kharkiv in the Belgorod region. So, and there are also a lot of hidden troops that we do not see at the moment, but I think that there is also some reserves here for the Russian side, and I think that those troops will be moved to attack somewhere around here. If we see and if we think about the Russians, they need to achieve something, of course, and by doing this they need to basically do not make the same mistake as at the beginning, because if they want to make a great offensive to gain terrain, to disrupt the Ukrainian logistic, to try to encircle all of their troops in the Donbas area, they will need to make a big move, okay. And by their side they are saying that they have all of the resources that they need, and if they want to do this, basically they need to not make the same mistake at the beginning, so they need to care about their logistic. And one thing that we can already know is that the Russians they basically base all of their logistics, okay, doctrine logistic, on the railroads. So the main goals of this attack we can see by looking at the railroad, okay. So if we see, there is a railroad that took from Belgorod to Sumy here, and Bilopilia here, Vorosha here. So probably the attack of the Russian side in the north side of Kharkiv will be something like this. Let me take this. Okay, let me take this for example. It will be something like this, okay. They will try to attack in the middle between Sumy and Kharkiv, just to achieve the first goal, to cut as many roads as possible. Let me go just a bit on south, okay. Their goal, it will be to take Sumy, because it will be a supply hub that, okay, they can use to support all of their advancement, okay, all of their advances here in the north side, and of course all other cities, but this is the main supply hub because it is a big city. So this attack will be not something like the Ukrainians one in the LPR, because first of all the conditions are different. The Russians here were in inferiority of numbers, and they disengage and they basically retreat. They let all of this front line, okay, all of this front line basically to the Ukrainians one, so they made some kind of elastic defense at least until they reach their second or third defensive line, and they put it also reserves to defend against the Ukrainians, because if the Russians did the same thing that the Ukrainians did are doing here in Bakhmut, probably they will lose all of their forces in the north side. So they had to disengage and they had to retreat very fast for all of those territories, and also they lack a lot of troops. So basically all of those territories just were not controlled in effect by the Russian side. But those territories here are controlled by Ukrainians, but there are some weak point, as I said, in Sum area, as I said, and by taking this big town you can supply all your advances, and this town is linked to Belgrade itself, so it's very important. So the Russian side will try to make an attack like this in the middle of Sum and Kharkiv, because if we take like this, okay, the Ukrainians are here and here, okay. There is also Poltava, where the most important hubs of Ukrainians, and there is in Donbass. So we are seeing where are the Ukrainians disposed, and we see that the weakest spot of the Ukrainians is here in the middle, between Sum, because yes, there are some forces, not a lot of forces, but there are some forces in Sum, and just by attacking in the middle, you can achieve this particular effect. First of all, because this part is the nearest part from the natural bridgehead of the territory. This one, okay. Okay. This territory of the Russian Federation is the most near, is the nearest point that, if you compare it to the supply road that connect Kharkiv to Poltava, this one, okay. So this is the nearest point, and as we discussed before, as we said before, here there is the this railroad, so the Russian can follow easily this railroad here, okay. And of course they can go even on the south, there is other railroads, but those are the life point of Kharkiv, okay. And those two roads here, those two roads mainly they use those two roads here to supply, to use Kharkiv as a supply hub, and from here to send all of the supplies on the south. But all the resources that comes to Kharkiv are coming from those main roads, and this one from Sumy to Kharkiv. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, as we can say, okay. So those are the five important roads to Kharkiv, and that's it. And this is the first part. The first part, it will be for me to attack here in the middle to disrupt Poltava from Kharkiv. This is the main goal, and of course to take also Sum here on the north, to establish a bridgehead, something like this, and then to go further and further to the south. So this will be the first part for me. The second part will be here. Why the Russians are accumulating so many troops in LPR? I'd never talk about this offensive, but this offensive is seem very real. And first of all, they need to gain control over the lost territory, the territory that they lost before in the counteroffensive of Ukrainians. Not only because it is a political goal, but also because they need, first of all, Liman here and Yampil, but most of all, first of all, Liman, to push by the north side of Slaviansk. I will discuss this in a more tactical way later, but the main goal is, yes, to push by this side, to have pressure on the north side as they had before, but they did not have the numbers of troops to make this to use their advantage of the territory. So they do not have troops to push south, okay, and to make some advances. And they can also try to go back to Izium, okay. They will try it. I don't know if they will be able, but if we see those troops that they are deployed here, I think yes, they can reach something like this. And then to take back this part, okay, at least to the river, and then move here to Balaklia and step even further just to encounter the troops from the north side. there is this city here, there is city here, so they can dismiss just by doing this. Look at here, they can dismiss those roads, those supply roads from Kharkiv. As I said before, the Kharkiv area is fundamental to supply all of the troops to Slaviansk, Kramatorsk and here. So they can stop those supply roads, and from the other side they can stop the supply roads to Kharkiv. So Kharkiv will be encircled, and of course they do not have to take Kharkiv and to assault Kharkiv directly, because it would be a waste of time. Kharkiv is very very big, and the Ukrainians can defend themselves very very good in this city, and will took many times to take Kharkiv, and many resources that you can use those resources to gain other goals and to implement those troops for other specific goals, okay, that are more important than just taking a city. So this is the importance of the north attack. As I said before, this is the defensive position of the Ukrainians, okay, this one, Konstantinovka. Yeah, Chasiv Yar is connected to Bakhmut, but Bakhmut will fall, Chasiv Yar as well. So mainly this is defensive line. So there is 1, 2 and 3, okay, this is the first part. The second part is here, Kramatorsk, Slaviansk, yes, and there is this ring, Yampel and Siversk, okay. This is the kind of the defensive line, okay. This is the defense line. It's kind of half ring, half circle, and if we as I said before, this is one defense line, okay, but if you take out one of those that compose the defense line, for example, if you take Konstantinovka, you will compromise all of those cities like this, those cities here that are composing this defense line. And at the same time, if you disrupt this part of the defensive line, all of the half ring will probably be put in danger. So the goal of the Russian side is not only to attack the Ukrainians and to push forward the front line, but also to take this side, and from the north to put pressure on the south and to disrupt this main supply road, so to take out this supply road from Slaviansk. And of course, just by doing this, okay, the Russians will also basically will force the Ukrainians to retreat from Yampel and to Siversk, okay. So this is the importance of this movement, okay, for a tactical perspective. And we have also the south part. So why are the Russians pushing Ugledar? Ugledar is not, many are saying that Ugledar is not important, but I don't see it as well. I discussed many times with you by the my prevision of the Ukrainian Russian assault. So many of analysts saying that the Russian will do something like this, an attack to Zaporizhia here and to the north, okay, to Pavlovgrad, something like this. But I don't see this probable for nothing, because the main thing that is for me, this is a waste of time. First of all, because Zaporozhye is a city, okay, so it's a big city, and his influential area. What I means that if a city is big, if a city is big, it has a big influential area, okay, like this. The more it's big, the more is big is influential area, and the troops and the Ukrainians can stock a lot of troops and supply in just one city, and their forces, okay, can be sent very very quickly to defend all of his near territory. And also this is a big city that can be defended very very well. So just by passing here is not a good solution, because of course you will force a lot of Ukrainian attacks that are well supplied, okay, and you'll face a lot of Ukrainian attacks, and your advance will be very very hard if you pass near Zaporizhia, okay. Yes, you get a lot of road, a lot of road, but you know, it would be very very hard for me to do something like this. It's not very It's not very likely to do this. So for me, it's more likely to do something like attacking from the other part, because you are far away from the influential area of Zaporizhia. So the troops that are located here, the reserves, need much more time to travel here. They need to stock their supply here in some little villages. The Russians can see them, can attack them, and the numbers of forts that Ukrainians can put in one village is limited if you compare the forces that you can put in one big city. So this is very obvious, no? So this is why the Russians are attacking this side. Uglidar. They need to take also Velika Novosilka here, Marinka. This is why the Russians are attacking. So they need to do something like this to attack here in the middle of this city. So they are just by doing this. First of all, this is not a very defended area, as we say like this, because the majority of Ukrainian reserves are here in Oryx, near Zaporizhia here, and yes, there are kind of some forces here near Donetsk, of course, but this will be a forced attack, and the main goal is to take this road here near Pokrovsk. Why? Because if you see here, Pavlovgrad, from to cut out this road, okay, this road, let's just look at the distance from here to here. There are 114 kilometer from, let's say, Marka Glidar, at least here, from here, okay, to here there are 57 kilometers, okay. So much lower the distance that you have to cover just to take out this road. Is very there is less road to less terrain that you have to travel to encounter this road, okay. And the same thing here, this road here, okay. If you want to take out this road, you need to go 47 kilometers. To take this road, you need to go, for example, 24 kilometers, okay. So this is a matter of terrain, and in the war you have to be economic. You have to spend the less time, troops, goods, to achieve the biggest result, okay. So this is the why for me, and this would be in this part there will be the major attack. And of course we can already know why Pokrovsk is very important. Look at here how many roads connect Pokrovsk to all the Donbass area, and the line of the defense of the Ukrainians here in the Donbass area that were collected, that they created this line of defense for years, many years. So this is the situation, okay. In the south I see, so let's recap all the things. In the south I see something like this, okay, to Pokrovsk. Okay, let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so something like this, okay. In the north I see something like this, okay. For example, to put pressure, I see something like this. And in the north east side I see something like this. So the main goal is to take out this and to take out Kharkiv, because Kharkiv is the main problem around here. And then there is also Poltava, there is also Dnipro to take about, Pavlovgrad, Zaporizhia. But if you take out all of those roads, Zaporizhia is useless for the Ukrainians. If you take out as this road, Pavlovgrad will be useless for Ukrainians. If you take out this road here, it will be useless, Pavlovgrad, for Kharkiv. But the only utility that Pavlovgrad will have is for Idzova, this city here that connects to Kramatorsk-Slaviansk. You need also to take Izium here. Yes, this is the reason. And if you are asking me to the north side, okay, the north attack, this is kind of a very big speculation, And yes, we do not know if the Ukrainians will do some attacks, but sorry, the Russians will do some attacks, but yes, there is a Wagner troop here spotted in north side of Russian territory. No, sorry, not Russian, but Belarusian territory, and there is also a big formation of Russian Belarusian troops. The Belarusian are calling 1 month training the reserves. They are made a lot of trainings, a lot of checkout. They took out um, the stocks of military equipment. And a lot of things are moving here. There are convoys every day that are moving from here, but there are a lot of reserve from the Russian side that we do not see where they are placed. So it's very problematic for us to know what there will be. Okay, but if the Russians attack, as I said before, probably the main yes, they will be very far away from the Kiev influential area and also from Chernigov. But you know, there is still the possibility from a Russian side to attack Chernigov, just to try to cut off the supplies from Kiev. Okay, this is the only reason, or at least to try to prevent an attack from Kiev to Sumy and to the Russian offensive. So, for example, if the Russian do something like this, of course, they attack from Sumy to the south, the Ukrainians will try to use their reserves, okay, their reserves, to put those reserves to attack the flanks of the Russian side. But if the Russians take a lot of troops here, they can try to attack Chernigov, and all of those forces around near Kiev will be forced to go to the north side to defend this side here. Okay, so they, by just doing this, they can prevent all of this long trip. Okay, this is the reason for me, but there can be also other reasons. This is much bigger speculation than this attack, because it's very hard to tell about what's going to happen here. But for me, just it's a matter of time. Just within 2 weeks, I think all the things will start, and my date for this attack is probably that will start or the 12th or 13th of February, or the 16th or 17th of February, and we will see it. Goodbye, guys, and I thank you for watching the video. Bye bye.